Response to intervention, what you need to know.
Hey Susie, thank you for being a great friend and taking time to see me. I know it's a busy time of year. I asked you to meet me because I was hoping to receive some information from you since you are a classroom teacher in the same district my son attends.
Absolutely. What topic do you need information about?
Well, my son's teacher was telling us about something called RTI during curriculum night. I have no idea what it is, but it sounds really complicated. Can you help me understand the process?
Sure. RTI can sound complicated, but once you truly understand its purpose and have a discussion about it, you will learn how important it is to student success. RTI stands for Response to Intervention, which is a systematic approach to helping students who are struggling in the classroom. It is the teacher's job to ensure that they are exhausting all possible strategies and situations to help students be successful. In order to do this, there are 3 tiers in the RTI process that must be utilized.
That's the part I had a hard time understanding. Can you explain the tiers to me?
The tiers of support each have a designated purpose. The first tier of support, which is called Tier 1, is what all classroom teachers teach on a daily basis, and the monitoring of student progress that we do for all students to help them succeed.
What do you mean you monitor students?
Well, for example, right now I am teaching my students the sounds that the letters in our alphabet make. Each quarter, I formally assess each child to see how many letters they know. I use that information to help me make instructional decisions.
Oh, okay. So if Tier 1 already has you monitoring students, how does Tier 2 differ?
Tier 2 students are those who need more intensive instruction and interventions because they are continuing to struggle with the curriculum. For example, as I am collecting and reviewing data about my students' abilities to identify lowercase letters, those students who are still unable to identify letters who've been studying for a while need additional help. I might work with them in small groups or one-on-one to help them achieve the standard.
So since my son is having a difficult time rhyming words, his teacher will use the Tier 2 support to help him, right?
Exactly.
So what happens when Tier 1 and Tier 2 support are utilized, but the child is still struggling in the classroom? I mean, we cannot leave them behind to struggle. What can teachers do in that situation?
Great questions. First of all, it's important to remember that no matter how the students are responding to support, we need to continue asking ourselves, what do we see now and what can we do to continue building student skills? This frame of mind in both teachers and parents helps us deal with what is in front of us rather than what the current struggle is. This is a growth mindset that introduces Tier 3 of RTI. If the students who are receiving Tier 2 support aren't making any progress, they will move to Tier 3, meaning they need more individualized instruction. This support is typically given by a specialist in the building. Many times these specialists are special education instructors.
Special education instructors? Does that mean that these students will eventually be enrolled in a special education program?
Not necessarily. These students see these specialists because they have more resources and training in specific areas of need.
So what is the ultimate goal with RTI then?
Ideally, we want our students out of Tier 3 instruction and back into one of the lower tiers. RTI calls for a lot of progress monitoring, meaning teachers are constantly observing and assessing student abilities to help further them along in their academics. We keep an optimistic frame of mind because that creates possibility for our students, which sets up realistic expectations for our students.
Talking to you and using specific examples helped this make a lot more sense. I think hearing about RTI during curriculum night was just a lot of information to take in at once. I needed a clear head to wrap my brain around all the information.
Anytime you feel that way, please don't hesitate to ask me for clarification. As a parent and teacher, I understand your concern for your child's growth and how overwhelming all of the information that impacts your child can be. Please know that teachers always have your child's best interests at heart. We continue to create paths to success for our students rather than place blame and wish that things were going differently.
I am so glad that my son is going to a school in a district where his teachers have love and compassion for their students and their career.